Her story rarely walks into rooms with a trumpet. Her story has not been told. History has been told. Well, guess what? I'm the fucking goddess of the mic, Spryte, and I'm here to tell you her story. She whispers from behind prisons, hospital beds, from kitchens, factory floors, from women whose names classrooms never bothered to teach you. Today I'm calling their spirits forward. Alice Paul, Lucy Burns, Alice Paul, Lucy Burns, Alice Paul, Lucy Burns, and the 20 suffragette warriors locked up, beaten, starved, force-fed, and silenced. Their courage cracked open the walls of this nation, and I'm here as the goddess of the mic to speak to you what the textbooks refuse to. On this day in 1917, they walked out of prison. 20 women. Not because the government grew a conscience. Nope. Because the country finally witnessed what was being done to them. Women hung by their wrists. Women shoved into cold cells. Women force-fed with tubes like criminals for daring to demand liberty and a voice equal to men. Imagine starving yourself just to be treated as a human. Imagine being told that wanting a vote makes you dangerous. Imagine loving your country enough to fight tooth and nail until it fucking evolved. See Tupac right here? Why we rape our women, do we take from our women? Half the country is female and the other half is our fucking child. You understand that? Half the world is female and the other half are the children of those females. I think you better start listening to the fucking mother. That's the real backbone of America. Women, not men. Women, not flags, not speeches, not slogans. Women, whose bravery made it possible for anyone to vote. I hear the train whistle. And yet we forget. We forget that this wasn't ancient history. We forget that your grandmother was born before she could vote. We forget that equality wasn't gifted. It was taken inch by bloody inch. The truth they hide. Let's talk about it. Let's tear open the myths. Women have only had federal voting rights for 104 fucking years. That's it. Black women, realistically, didn't secure unrestricted voting until 1965. That's not the distant past, guys. That's your fucking mother. That's your aunt. That's living his story. Her story is now being told. And here's the part that pisses me off the most. We talk about suffrage like, yay, women got the right to vote. We don't talk about what came after that. No. Because if you think they stopped holding us back after 1920, you're not paying fucking attention. Okay? 100 years of structural control is what women have been going through. Okay, let me break it to you. Let's get you into reality here. Women couldn't get a credit card without a man's signature until 1974. I was born in 1976. Do you understand that? Women couldn't take out a mortgage until the 1970s, the late 1970s. Until 1972, women could be denied jobs just for being a fucking woman. Never mind that you could do the job, you were a girl. Marital property laws tied us to men like property for centuries. Do you understand what that fucking means? Are you hearing what I'm saying? Do you speak English? Your life, your autonomy would have been completely dependent on the mood of the man. If he didn't approve, you didn't get a house. If he didn't allow, you didn't get a bank account. And that's not ancient history, guys. 50 fucking years. I'm 50. I'm 49. You could be alive right now and be older than your rights are if you are an older woman in your 70s or 80s. So why does her story matter so much? Well, people keep asking me, why are you so loud? Why are you so upset? Where's all the rage coming from? Why are you talking about the patriarchy? Why did you rewrite the Bible? Why? Because women never got a voice when the men wrote the Bible, right? Because silence was the leash they used. And I like to cut leashes for a living. Because the men who wrote history did it with the scissors in their pocket, cutting out the women. They did it in the Bible with the canon at the Council of Nicaea, clipping out every woman who threatened their own comfort. Because her story isn't about rewriting the facts. No, it's about restoring the ones they buried. It's about putting the goddess back into the myth, the women back into the narrative, and the truth back into this fucking timeline, right? So I'm here, Spryte the Emcee, college degrees, a good head on my shoulders, and a sober mind. As the goddess of the mic, as a woman who survived hell and came back with a fucking pen and paper to call it out loud, okay? I was not assaulted as a little girl and survived evil men taking from me what I did not want to give, to sit silently while evil men ruined the fucking country, and the world for that matter. The matriarchy movement is my life's work. Okay, so listen, when I say matriarchy emerges, people think it's a brand. Nope. This is not a fucking brand. My initials, my government name is M.E. M.E. Mary E., my last name. Matriarchy emerges are my fucking initials. It's a prophecy. It's a restoration. It's a correction. That's it. I'm here to correct what you men have fucked up. Women have run civilizations before. Women have held knowledge older than the pyramids. Women have governed tribes, guarded temples, healed nations, and patriarchy erased every trace of us. They called that absence proof. But we're remembering, we're rising. Every time I get on the mic and write a song, every time I breathe life into all you lost queens that are listening, every time I pull her story out of the ashes, another woman wakes up. Another girl finds her voice. Another generation refuses to be fucking fooled by stupid old white men. The torch that was handed to me by my mother, Janet. Alice Paul didn't starve herself so we could sit fucking quiet. Lucy Burns didn't survive torture so I could stay small. I know what those women went through. I've been handcuffed, locked, tied, trafficked, and thrown into the trunk of a car for transport. What those women endured, the body remembers. Generational. I know what they went through. And I will be fucking damned if I'm going to have a fucking man tell me that women's rights are not in peril. Hell no. We're still fighting voter suppression. We're still fighting wage gaps. Fuck. We're still fighting lawmakers who want our bodies back under their control. You cross state lines from Texas to Alabama to Arkansas to South Carolina, women's rights change state to state. What the fuck? A man's rights don't change state to state. A man's life isn't in the doctor's hands because of a law that might forbid the fucking care they need to live. Another woman died in Texas 2 weeks ago from childbirth laws because men are fucking stupid. We're not fighting alone. We're carrying warriors behind us, beside us, and on our shoulders. I carry ancestors that walk behind me that will fuck you up. And my gods will kick your gods' asses. I carry this fire inside of me that prisons could not extinguish. Do you hear me? Do you see me? And as long as I have a voice, as long as I have breath in my body, I will speak her story. I will teach her story. Carve her story into every stage, every beat, every screen, every soul that'll listen. Because the matriarch is coming. She's here. She's speaking through me. And if it makes you uncomfortable, then it's going to have to be uncomfortable for quite some time. Because 2,000-3,000 years ago when they wrote the Bible, they left out all the women's stories. And I studied it. I read it. I got into the Lost Gospels, the Apocrypha. I went to the ancients, the Egypts. And just studied my little heart out and wrote it all into raps. You can look in my eyes and think you know me, but you have no fucking clue what I have survived to sit here and to share her story.